This time on Tier 1, Ben loads the truck up with a couple of custom exotics and a few of the Rome rifles. We're going to hit some steel down in Las Vegas, and we're doing it with one very special shooter. We met with Jackie Carrizosa out in the Nevada desert just outside Las Vegas. Jackie, better known as Brojaq, is a Navy veteran, champion athlete and racer, and most importantly today, a technical advisor and competition shooter. We wanted her feedback on some of Tier 1's latest creations and the Rome rifle line. First up from Rome's magnesium framed packages is the R10 Walhalla. We laid out the mat and hung a few targets and let Jackie do what she does best, run guns like a professional. The Rome R10 is seen here with a suppressed proof research barrel and a SIG Tango 6 optic. The R10 is designed for superior weight savings thanks to using unique magnesium components and choosing other minimalist options. It was exciting to watch Jackie operate the R10, but the critiques started flowing and her experience in competition delivered the feedback we hoped for. Rome selected this minimalist buttstock, again, to save weight. Jackie had a different perspective.
It's pretty light. Honestly, I don't like the buttstock. Just because it's not like our faces are different, but it's hard for me to find the reticle. Yeah, it just matters on these guns, just because if you're doing this kind of stuff, you want a faster acquisition.
Next, Ben hands Jackie the R10 Red River Ultralight. It always brings around a similar reaction.
Yeah, that's significantly lighter than my JP rifles is.
Ben has this R10 configured for closer engagements, and it didn't take long for Jackie to turn up the heat.
So a light rifle will help a shooter and it'll take away some of the stress of shooting because you're utilizing certain muscles, and then when you can actually lighten that weight, it kind of gives you more endurance in the shooting competition or the drill, and that actually helps. And sometimes I can go too far in terms of the internals where you can actually feel everything bouncing around. So you just want to make sure that you have some kind of even platform for that, or you kind of get Gucci with the parts on the inside and get really smooth internal running parts so that way it runs like butter and it's super light.
Next out of the truck is a Tier 1 custom. It's a folding pistol variant with a multicam Cerakote and ATC gold flat trigger.
So what we could do is I could pull this out of that backpack.
Always the instructor, Brojaq is a step ahead and helps us get a great shot with her Everly stock backpack. We're not done with the fun yet. We couldn't let Jackie leave without trying another frame fresh from Cerakote with an EOTech and double drum. Finally, Jackie volunteered to shake down Ben's very own competition 5.56. The sun went down and we picked up the brass and packed up the trucks. After a hot afternoon of range time, Jackie and Ben sat down and discussed the good and bad and what they both want to do to improve their firearms.
I want to make it really quiet and just buttery. You know what I mean? Yeah, so that way you can go ting, 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 ting.
Jackie provided some great suggestions on what can be improved at Tier 1 and Rome. Her feedback goes beyond simple things like gas tuning and into the deeper choices that make a rifle perform well.
For the Rome gun and the Tier 1 gun, one of the main things I would change is probably the buffer spring, or the buffer tube and the spring, just because in both guns I noticed that I could hear and feel both of them in my face. You know, JP has a silent capture spring that you could probably put in there and test that out, but those are all time-consuming things, and also depends on what clientele they're going for and then what they want to leave to the shooter to change, you know.
Tier 1 Kinetics is a new player in custom-built rifles and will take this experience back to the shop to provide customers even better platforms. In her final advice, Jackie shared her indicator for good collaborations and how to handle roadblocks in business while keeping momentum.
For me, I'm a very confrontational person, so when and I don't mean that in an aggressive, like in an angry way. I mean it as in, like, if I have an issue with something, I want to talk about it right then and there and handle it and get it done with and get it over with, and so that way it's not like a problem in the future or some kind of like hidden issue. And if somebody cannot communicate or talk like that, I find that that kind of makes it an issue, and then that makes problems in the long run, because then you can't communicate to each other and you can't evolve like that, because you can't actually like progress ideas. I've been through a lot of hurdles myself, including breaking my arm, my back, my face. I've broken over 15 bones, so I kind of put this in my head a long time ago. You're gonna be working till you're dead, so there's no reason in getting stressed out about it. Just keep pushing or keep swimming, like Dory says,
We can't thank Jackie enough for her time and expertise. If you want to learn more about Jackie, look her up at Brojaq on Twitter and Instagram. Her background is deep, and for the life of us, we don't know if she takes any time off.
Well, I did just sign with First Form, so that's good. I have a long, steady relationship with Killcliff and Black Rifle Coffee, and Oakley and Arbor Arms and Safariland Group. And I do have the right now, so probably gonna be soon. And that one is a big secret, so you guys are literally the first ones to know.
Follow Jackie on social media for more upcoming secrets, and as always, get in touch at tier1kinetics.com to start your own custom platform.